In the quiet space between two heartbeats, somewhere between letting go and holding on, 2 years was born. It wasn't written with the intention to chart or to trend. It wasn't crafted for applause or performance. It was written because Rose could no longer keep the silence. She once said, "I woke up one morning in Paris and started crying. There wasn't a clear reason. I thought I had moved on. I thought I was okay. But the tears kept falling, as if something deep inside me had never healed." This is not just a love story. It's not even a heartbreak story in the traditional sense. 2 years is a confession, raw, vulnerable, and stripped of the polish we so often wear in public. It's the sound of someone facing a wound they thought had closed. A wound shaped like a person. Time. A memory that refused to fade. 2 years. 24 months. Over 700 days. It sounds like a long time, doesn't it? Long enough to heal. Long enough to forget. Long enough to move on. But for Rose, it was barely enough to breathe through the weight of what was left behind. "Sometimes the body and the mind stop agreeing with each other," she whispered. "My brain kept telling me, 'You've moved on.' But my heart, it was still sitting in the past, clinging to a voice that no longer called back." There's a kind of heartbreak that time cannot sweep away. One that lingers in muscle memory. In the way a name echoes when whispered. In how a song suddenly becomes unbearable. In the quiet ache behind a smile. And that is where 2 years lives. In that thin space where pain pretends to be gone, but never really leaves. There are songs you write for the world. And then there are songs you write because there's no other way to survive. "I didn't write 2 years to blame anyone," Rose says. "I wrote it because I needed to acknowledge the pain I was still carrying. I needed to admit out loud that I wasn't over it. That I was still weak for someone who wasn't even there anymore." It's not a ballad of revenge. It's not an anthem of resilience. It's a mirror. A delicate, trembling mirror held up to the parts of us we try so hard to hide. The trembling hands, the restless nights, the mornings where tears come before sunlight. In her voice you can hear it. That ache. That honesty. That moment where melody becomes memory. The world often celebrates resilience with silence. Be strong, they say. Move on. Smile. Get over it. But Rose chose a different kind of strength. She chose to break the silence. Because sometimes being strong isn't about smiling through the pain. It's about admitting the pain exists. A fan once commented, "I woke up crying and didn't know why, until I heard 2 years. It felt like someone finally understood." Another wrote, "Thank you, Rose, for showing us that being strong doesn't mean never breaking down. It means letting the tears fall when they need to." That's the thing about healing. It's not linear. It loops back. It stings. Confuses. And songs like 2 years don't offer closure. They offer company. Rose never names the person. She doesn't point fingers or seek resolution. That's what makes 2 years so intimate. Could be a lover. A friend. A version of yourself that you had to let go. Because some of us aren't mourning people, we're mourning what they meant to us. The safety they once gave. The dreams they were part of. The version of forever we built in our heads. In 2 years, Rose sings from the quietest part of her soul. The part that everyone sees smiling, performing, glowing. But no one hears crying in the dark. "The world still sees me smiling," she says. But there's a reason we sing. Sometimes it's the only way to say what we don't have the courage to speak. Rose didn't just create a track. She created a space. A place for the brokenhearted to sit and be understood. A place where crying isn't weakness. It's truth. Fans poured their stories into the comments. This song reached the deepest places of my heart. "I thought I was the only one still hurting after so long. You reminded me it's okay to still feel. Still love. Still grieve." When a song becomes a shared ache, it becomes more than music. It becomes community. It becomes healing. There's a haunting line in 2 years that doesn't try to be profound. Just as, maybe we can't stop loving someone just because they hurt us. But we can learn to love ourselves more. That's the quiet lesson woven into every lyric. We are allowed to break. We are allowed to remember. We are allowed to cry over someone who didn't deserve our tears. But we are also allowed to grow from it. To sing through it. To turn the ache into something beautiful. Rose closes the story of 2 years not with a period, but with an open hand. To everyone still healing. You're not alone. Keep singing your own song. Because in the end, healing isn't a finish line. It's a melody we return to again and again. Softer each time. More forgiving. More whole. So if you've ever woken up crying for no reason, if you've ever whispered someone's name long after they've stopped listening, if you've ever smiled on the outside while shattering within, this song is for you. You don't need to explain. You don't need to move on anyone else's timeline. Just breathe. Feel. Sing. Like Rose. Like all of us. Still learning. Still loving. Still healing. 2 years isn't just a song. It's a heartbeat. A tear. A reminder that you are never alone in your sadness. And that even pain, when sung honestly, can be beautiful.